starts with the first team. He's an impressive player. I know the first team staff, technical director, head coaches, they have a lot of faith in him.
That was good. All right, we'll see both teams. I like that. Bring that again. All right, Bethlehem Steel FC 4-5-2 with 14 points. North Carolina FC 3-4-2 with 11 points. We'll have the kickoff and Brian Ware when we come back. Brian, how hot was it yesterday? Yeah. Brutal? Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I was at Bald Head Island.
That's where I wanted to
Oh, he did?
weekend.
You passed out?
It's like 2 seconds, but I was
Dude, man. Are you all right?
yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. That's scary.
I just fell down. I didn't hurt anything.
Was that Joe Ferrara not allowing water again type thing? Or was that Joe Ferrara not giving you water? Probably, right? Yeah. Great jacket, William. Great jacket. Yeah, it's nice.
Trying to bring some home flavor.
Yeah.
Are we required to be homers on the?
No, we're not. We're supposed to kind of be. I mean, I'll do my how about North Carolina FC thing, but no.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, try not to say we. Don't say we if you can avoid it.
As far as
Like in reference to North Carolina FC, yeah, okay.
is that what you refer to him to, or NCFC or North Carolina FC?
North Carolina FC, yeah. Kurt doesn't like NCFC for some reason, so.
Okay.
I'm going to scooch back a little bit. Are you ready? We got a big old long halftime we got to do too, right, Taylor? Cool. And we welcome you to Salem Stadium. My audio wasn't on. Taylor, my audio wasn't on. Oh, you were? No, So I was good, though? That's Capono Low right there.
Yep.
Sorry, Taylor. Test, you got me?
Test.
I couldn't a second ago, now I could. So when you first asked me, I couldn't, but now I can, so. We welcome you to Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. We are going to fight off the lightning and the weather and bring you USL action. It's your home team, North Carolina FC, against Bethlehem Steel FC. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former Wake Forest goalkeeper as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew, talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you, and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4, and outscoring opponents 14-1.
And they are led up top by their Mexican international on loan, Daniel Rios. Talk about being on fire. This man has been on fire.
Ever since Colin Clark went to the 2-forward lineup, Rios has been a handful, and he'll hope to do the same tonight.
All right, he had 2 assists and a goal against Atlanta in their last home game, a 4-0 win. Most forwards would take a shot right there, including Jason Gary, but he drops it to the Cameroonian Iwolo with a double nutmeg, including the 5-hole of the goalkeeper. But he's got to get one as well. Becker off the crossbar, he stays with it. And how about this left-footed finish as North Carolina FC would roll Atlanta? Meanwhile, when you think about Bethlehem Steel FC, of course, they're tied to Major League Soccer's Philadelphia Union, and we get one of their players starting the midfield tonight.
Yes, being a German, Fabian Herbers, smooth, great midfielder. He'll look to control the tempo tonight. The Philly Union staff have a lot of faith in him, and we'll look for him to control the tempo. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right, we'll be back with the kickoff and the lineups and a little more of Brian Ware after this. We got this. Yeah, just the first time. Yeah. Thank you. And we welcome you to Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. After a 30-minute delay for lightning in the area, the gates are open and we are ready for USL action. It's North Carolina FC and Bethlehem Steel FC. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former Wake Forest goalkeeper as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew, talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here, and you're exactly right. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4, and outscoring opponents 14-1.
You heard that right, 14-1, and they are led up top by Daniel Rios. On loan from Mexico, he has been phenomenal.
Ever since Colin Clark went to the 2-forward lineup, he's been a handful. He'll look to do the same thing tonight.
All right, he had 2 assists and a goal in that 4-0 win over Atlanta last week. Here, you think he's going to shoot it. The goal is open, but an unselfish forward drops it back to the Cameroonian Iwolo with the double nutmeg. The defender, then the 5-hole of the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0. But every great forward, they got to get one, right? Poaching. Watch him take this one down, left foot, side netting, and North Carolina FC was rocking and rolling. Okay, so in comes Bethlehem Steel FC. They are tied to the Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, Dean, we're talking about Fabian Herbers, a German central midfielder. I know the Philadelphia Union first team, coaching staff, technical directors, they expect a lot out of him, and I think the Bethlehem Steel will too tonight.
Yeah, he's got 3 starts for Philadelphia, and he'll be on the field to start tonight for Bethlehem Steel. All right, we'll have the kickoff and the starting lineups when we come back. Weather, go away. We got USL action around the corner. Stay with us. Is there any Courage players here? Following that FC Cincinnati story, you got any thoughts on that? Okay. And we welcome you to Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. After a 30-minute delay for lightning in the area, the gates are open and we are ready for USL action. It's North Carolina FC and Bethlehem Steel FC. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former Wake Forest goalkeeper as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew. Talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here, and you're exactly right. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4 and outscoring opponents 14-1.
You heard that right, 14-1, and they are led up top by Daniel Rios. On loan from Mexico, he has been phenomenal.
Ever since Colin Clark went to the 2-forward lineup, he's been a handful. He'll look to do the same thing tonight.
All right, he had 2 assists and a goal in that 4-0 win over Atlanta last week. Here, you think he's going to shoot it. The goal is open, but an unselfish forward drops it back to the Cameroonian Iwolo with a double nutmeg. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former Wake Forest goalkeeper as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew. Talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here, and you're exactly right. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4 and outscoring opponents 14-1.
You heard that right, 14-1, and they are led up top by Daniel Rios. On loan from Mexico, he has been phenomenal. Glad to be with former Wake Forest goalkeeper as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew. Talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here, and you're exactly right. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4 and outscoring opponents 14-1.
You heard that right, 14-1, and they are led up top by Daniel Rios. On loan from Mexico, he has been phenomenal.
Ever since Colin Clark went to the
with former Wake Forest goalkeeper as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew. talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here, and you're exactly right. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4 and outscoring opponents 14-1.
You heard that right, 14-1, and they are led up top by Daniel Rios. On loan from Mexico, he has been phenomenal. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former Wake Forest goalkeeper, as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew, talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here, and you're exactly right. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4 and outscoring opponents 14-1.
You heard that right, 14-1, and they are led up top by Daniel Rios. On loan from Mexico, he has been phenomenal.
Ever since Colin Clark went to the 2-forward lineup, he's been a handful. He'll look to do the same thing tonight.
All right, he had 2 assists and a goal in that 4-0 win over Atlanta last week. Here, you think
in soccer, every second is monumental. Every moment of the 90 minutes is backed up by months of training, hours of perfecting passes, weeks of tuning your touch.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately,
and we welcome you to Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. After a 30-minute delay for lightning in the area, the gates are open and we are ready for USL action. It's North Carolina FC and Bethlehem Steel FC. Hello everybody, I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former Wake Forest goalkeeper as well as the Kansas City Wizards and the Columbus Crew, talking about my main man, William Hesmer. And William, great to be with you and great to be here at home where North Carolina FC has been outstanding.
Thank you, Dean. Excited to be here, and you're exactly right. North Carolina FC have been on fire, undefeated in their last 4 and outscoring opponents 14-1.
You heard that right, 14-1, and they are led up top by Daniel Rios. On loan from Mexico, he has been phenomenal.
Ever since Colin Clark went to the 2-forward lineup, he's been a handful. He'll look to do the same thing tonight.
All right, he had 2 assists and a goal in that 4-0 win over Atlanta last week. Here, you think he's going to shoot it. The goal is open, but an unselfish forward drops it back to the Cameroonian Iwolo with the double nutmeg. The defender, then the 5-hole, the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0. But every great forward, they got to get one, right? Poaching. Watch him take this one down, left foot, side netting, and North Carolina FC was rocking and rolling. Okay, so in comes Bethlehem Steel FC. They are tied to the Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, Dean, we're talking about Fabian Herbers, a German central midfielder. I know the Philadelphia Union first team, coaching staff, technical directors, they expect a lot out of him, and I think the Bethlehem Steel will too tonight.
Yeah, he's got 3 starts for Philadelphia, and he'll be on the field to start tonight for Bethlehem Steel. All right, we'll have the kickoff and the starting lineups when we come back. Weather, go away. We got USL action around the corner. Stay with us.
In soccer, every second is monumental. Every moment of the 90 minutes is backed up by months of training, hours of perfecting passes, weeks of tuning your touch. You put in the time searching for your next advantage. We provide the gear that helps you earn it.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
My name is Clint Dempsey, and I play for Seattle Sounders. If you played on a club team, it gave you an opportunity to get a scholarship in soccer. So going to Dallas, so we lived in Nacogdoches. I went for my first tryout, not really thinking I was going to make it, and ended up making the team. And then it was the reality set in. My parents were like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to be able to drive 3 hours one way and 3 hours back? I was just lucky that I had parents who were crazy enough to drive me that far to get that coaching. See more at celebratingsoccer.com.
Little bit of rain coming down as the officials walking out with both teams, and we'll get you set. Both teams are on the field and ready to go. North Carolina FC, let's take a look at their starting lineup. William Hesmer already mentioned the 4-4-2. Austin DeLuz, the former Wake Forest star, has been outstanding. That's the starting lineup for North Carolina FC. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Bethlehem Steel FC, as they will go with a 4-2-3-1. We already told you about Fabian Herbers, the German midfielder. In goal is Jake McGuire. Both teams on the field ready to go. This one was supposed to start about 6 minutes after 7, but because they saw lightning somewhere over yonder, not sure where, they decided to delay it. Safety first, and here we go. William Hesmer as Bethlehem Steel FC is out there. They're in all white. North Carolina FC's in all blue, and let's get this baby started.
Let's do it.
Your official, Elvis Osmanovich. Assistant referees, Ryan Graves and Ben Pilgrim. Forrest Ambrose is your fourth official. We are indeed underway. A little bit of rain coming down, but that's to be expected. We're in the sort of thunderstorm alley right now as you take a look at the head coach for Bethlehem Steel FC, Brendan Burke, who is tied obviously very closely to the Philadelphia Union. A lot of, I would guess you would say, talks as academy players getting action and then also full team players getting action.
Yeah, exactly right, Dean. Philadelphia Union aren't afraid to move players up and down on their roster. So you've seen a lot of turnover on the Bethlehem Steel roster.
Take a look at Colin Clark, the head coach for North Carolina FC, Nick Platter, DeJuan Bader, Greg Shields, Michael Malazzo, the coaching staff for North Carolina FC. North Carolina FC, as we told you, comes in red hot after that 4-0 win over Atlanta. They also beat Penn here 3-0. Then, of course, they had phenomenal success in their opening Open Cup games as they took care of Lansdowne and then the Ocean City Northeasterners. And they'll play this back to Jake McGuire. Now Bethlehem Steel FC. Bethlehem Steel FC 4-5-2 with 14 points on the USL season. North Carolina FC 3-4-2 with 11 points on the early season. Good look right there at Michi Galina. He's from the Congo. 2 minutes in. Connor Tobin finally back in there, and part of the reason though, Footy Danzo, who back for his second stint, has been amazing, but he just signed a professional contract in Malaysia. So Connor Tobin back from injury just in time. They're going to miss Footy Danzo. He's been really good this year, William Hesmer.
Yeah, Footy was a great player. I remember him competing against him in my MLS days. Happy for him, but it's also a great opportunity for Connor.
Play it forward to the Cameroonian Iwolo, who got things started. That great pass from Rios, finding Iwolo, who was able to do the double nutmeg. Here's Peebo Dewey, played collegiately at West Virginia. They play it back to DeLuz. He's knocked to the ground right at midfield, and he'll get the call. It's taking him down right there was number 38, Santi Mora. He is from Spain. Also played collegiately at Pfeiffer University, as that one goes too strong. William Hesmer starred at Wake Forest. Really was part of that uprising for Wake Forest. A few years later, they'd be right here winning the national championship against the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, that was fun. I was in Columbus at the time and was able to check back here and watch the Deacs win it.
Middle of the field there, Graham Smith, who's doing it all right now for Colin Clark. Canziora will get the start. Stephen Miller is out with an injury, so they push Becker out wide, and he'll get it now. Becker with his right foot sent across. Rios is there, and Rios trying to stay hot.
Great opportunity there for North Carolina FC, and it all starts from Austin DeLuz's left foot. Great switching ball that allows for plenty of space to serve in a dangerous cross.
Harrington, what a nice pickup he's been. Talk about a guy who's had a big, tall cup of coffee in Major League Soccer. Brings a ton of experience here. Been a great pro, Harrington. Of course, played collegiately at North Carolina, William.
Yeah, I know Mikey for a long time. He's a fellow Eastern North Carolinian, great competitor. This all starts from Austin DeLuz switching the ball of attack, gives his winger plenty of time to serve in a very dangerous ball. North Carolina FC are unlucky not to get something better out of that.
Anziora, the German, taking down the other German as Herbers goes down. You wonder if they know each other. Here's Najim. I called his games when he played for Coach Porter and the Akron Zips. Notcham's a really good player. Middle of the park, number 24. Of course, if you were in Columbus, you knew the Akron Zips. I mean, that was some great college soccer. That was like a semi-pro team there.
Great program under Caleb Porter. The amount of pros that they produced, not only pros, but quality pros that had a lot of sticking.
So well said. Here's Mahoney, who's got the most experience. As we mentioned, 29 players have played this season for the Bethlehem Steel in USL action, and not able to connect there with Rios. Rain still coming down, but as we mentioned, it's humid out there, so the rain barely even sticks. I mean, don't even notice it.
In the first 5 minutes, too, you see that Bethlehem Steel's not afraid to open up away from home. So if North Carolina FC can win the ball in dangerous places and attack quickly, they should get some good opportunities.
Keep an eye out for that. Play it through the back. As we mentioned, with so many players, the numbers are huge. I mean, they've got numbers into the 60s on this roster. Push forward, Tambakis, who's been very good for North Carolina FC in goal. It's been his job all season.
Great read there from Alex.
Tambakis, who's from Greece. His hometown is, in fact, Athens, Greece, and spent time with Sporting KC. Of course, William Hesmer spent time with the then-named Kansas City Wizards, part of the Hunt family, and then moved over to the Columbus Crew. You were with the Hunt family for, I guess, 8 years or so, right?
My entire career. Great ownership group, and soccer in this country owes them a large sum.
Too strong for Due, and it'll come back to Bethlehem Steel FC. 7 minutes in, no score. We can tell you that Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. See free shipping on orders over $50. North Carolina FC faithful, AKA at one time Carolina Railhawks, also point out that William Hesmer can also be classified as a former member of the club. So thank you everybody for reminding me of that. As you see this tackle right there, coming in hard is Smith. And yeah, William, you actually helped out in a pinch, right?
Yeah, help out's a little bit liberal. I had a lot of fun sitting on the bench and beating the LA Galaxy at the time in the U.S. Open Cup. Scott Goodwin had one of the best games I've ever seen of a goalkeeper, so that was a lot of fun.
Said there's Smith, who you think about a player that Colin Clark loves, and then you draw up Graham Smith. Here's a guy who went to the tryout, and he just never stops working, William Hesmer. His engine is always on. And you know Colin Clark, he loves that in a holding midfielder.
Definitely.
So it'll be, I think, a throw-in for North Carolina FC. No, they'll call a foul first. No, now they'll say throw-in as they go back and forth. Throw-in for North Carolina FC. Bouncing around right at midfield, will go out of bounds. Colin Clark will indicate that it's North Carolina FC's ball to lose with the quick throw-in. Goes off the bottom of the foot of Mahoney. Matthew Mahoney played at Temple. He's from Buffalo. Pushing forward here is Herbers. Herbers, who played collegiately for Creighton. Of course, talk about another great German, Elmar Bolovich, who had great success at North Carolina. The German now leading Creighton for several years. In fact, Elmar Bolovich won his first national championship at Columbus Crew Stadium, ironically. It all comes back to you, William, in some way, if you haven't figured that out, my man.
And ironically, right before the NCAA tournament, we had just beat them 4-1. Happy for those guys. A lot of my former club teammates on that team.
Vici Galena. Let's drop some names. Who are some of those club teammates that played for the Tar Heels that won that national championship?
Logan Pauls, David Testo, Michael Gell, Sean McGinty, Grant Porter, not only great players, just great guys.
Yeah.
Very happy for them.
Yeah, well said. Called a lot of their games, William Hesmer. That was a long time ago, my man, back in 2001. Gosh, can you believe that?
Gosh, feel so old.
Becker's been so good. Iwolo on the turn, trying to find Rios. They had an own goal against Atlanta just by being dangerous. Not an own goal, but corner kick, North Carolina FC.
In these conditions, if they keep putting balls in the box like that, they can expect more opportunities and more gaffes, just like we just saw.
Becker, who has just been an outstanding pickup for the North Carolina Football Club, really has a lot of liberty in the middle of the field. He's forced to play right because of the injury to Miller, but he'll do a lot of things, trying to find DeLuz, despite being one of the smaller guys. Got great hops, and left-footed shot not quite there to go out of bounds.
Great service there from Becker.
Yeah, Kyle Becker, he's Canadian, Oakville, Ontario, won a championship last year in the final season of the NASL with the San Francisco Deltas. There's Austin DeLuz. His dad, Tony DeLuz, the longtime Wake Forest women's soccer coach, is in the house with his wife, and Austin's mom said hi to them earlier. Herbers. Long run. Great job tracking it there. Was Harrington. Rios. Back to go or attacking. Number 14 is a handful, William. You're going to like watching him play. Rios on loan from Chivas Guadalajara.
I've enjoyed his work and his runs and his movement. He's a handful. You can see that he's constantly trying to pester and test the back line and push that line as deep as he can.
Here's Harrington. Now Tobin. So Tobin, who spent last year pretty much as the left center back, but because of Harrington's work, who certainly made a name for himself as a left back, also a holding mid, will stay at his left center back position that he's been playing next to Footy Danzo. I think Harrington, when he first came here, he thought maybe he would be playing in the middle of the park, but with the injury to Tobin, he was forced in the back, and in talking to him, William Hesmer, he is loving it. Like, he's loving playing center back, which probably works for a player who's getting up in years as well, right?
Yeah, for Michael's game, and one of his biggest attributes forever was he can play anywhere. You can play him in the midfield, you can play him anywhere along the back line, and you don't miss a beat. I'm sure coming back home to North Carolina, he's excited to be on the field anyway.
Here's Austin DeLuz. DeLuz. Bring it back to Douay. That combination of Douay and DeLuz, you'll see them make overlapping runs quite a bit, as Colin Clark loves to get his outside backs forward. Knocked away there, James Chambers from Ireland. Spoke before the game with Mike Catalano, part of the Wisconsin Badgers team that won the Big Ten tournament last year, knocking off Indiana. Several Badgers have moved on. Segbers, drafted by New England, also playing USL. Catalano. Christopher Mueller's been great for Orlando. Good ball long. Taylor tries to track it down. Tembakis will let it go out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick.
Great ball over the top. Just didn't get enough on it.
Harrington will bring it back to Tembakis, who's got to deal with a little bit of sun still, particularly on that far post from our broadcast view, the perch here at beautiful Salem Stadium, Wake Met Soccer Park in Cary. And of course, William Hesmer, you've been around great stadiums. You know, of course, you were there in the early days of the Crew as well, but this is still one of the best soccer stadiums in the country.
This is a special, special place. Not only the stadium, but the entire park, the facility, the support in the community. When the U.S. national team trained here prior to the World Cup, they all came back to me afterwards and said, why in the world does Major League Soccer not have a presence in the Raleigh area, Cary, Triangle area? Special, special place.
15 minutes in, no score. North Carolina FC, Bethlehem Steel FC. Both teams trying to climb the USL ladder. Dewey gets there. He'll drop it to Deleuze. Deleuze, right foot this time. Canziora back in the lineup as Becker slides over. That creates an opportunity for Canziora. Taylor, now Becker. Harrington will give it back to Tobin. Tobin has Becker come back and support as Taylor stays forward. Becker on a dime. Dewey, Deleuze back to Dewey. Mahoney knocks it out of bounds and a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Let's get excited for another Carolina Kino corner kick.
Great build-up. It all starts again from unlocking the Bethlehem Steel with a big switching ball.
That man right there, right? Becker on a dime to Dewey, who knew right away that where Deleuze was, and a perfect one-touch back to him. So here comes the corner kick for Becker. 16 minutes in, still no score. Becker with the right foot. Becker driven in, bouncing through, and how about North Carolina FC lurking far side? I think it's Dewey will confirm it. Peebo Dewey, and it's 1-0 North Carolina FC.
Like we said, Dean, keep putting dangerous balls in the box. Make it hard on Bethlehem Steel. North Carolina FC, they're all laughing. It wasn't as pretty as they'd have liked, but it's 1-0.
You see the defenders and the captain kind of screaming at everybody. How does that get all the way through? As Peebo Dewey with the goal in the 16th minute. Marlon LeBlanc, the West Virginia head coach, is smiling right now as Dewey gets it done, and it's 1-0. How about the start for North Carolina FC?
Impressive start. North Carolina FC probably deserved the goal. So now it's important the next 5 minutes they maintain the tempo and they go for the second.
Peebo Dewey in the 16th minute of play. The assist on that goal from number 10.
Player down over by Dewey. Dewey's first goal as a member of North Carolina FC for Colin Clark, and a great start for North Carolina FC. As we told you, last 4 games here at home, they've outscored the opposition 14-1. We are 18 minutes in. Of course, that goal coming off a free kick brought to you by Alpaca Peruvian Charco Chicken. That chicken tastes even better when Dewey is able to finish the corner from that man right there, Becker. Becker gets it back to Taylor. Taylor, who at times, and I know it's a little bit of a stretch, but reminds you of DeAndre Yedlin, the way he can get up and down that right side.
Definitely. Speed to burn. Good server of the ball. Knows when to go and when not to.
Tobin. Rainbow is out now as we're hoping we're in the clear. Knock on wood. Brian Ware's responsible for all weather the rest of the way. Here's Tobin. Now Canziora. Over to Taylor, but knocked away there by Bethlehem Steel FC, who find themselves down on the road 1-0, courtesy of a goal from Peebo Dewey. Good little move forward. Here's going to be a shot. Oh my! A rocket shot from Bethlehem Steel FC. Hammered there by Herbers and just missing.
Impressive build up there. North Carolina FC called a little bit slow in the counter, and Herbers did not miss by much.
See members of the Oak City Club right there getting away from that rocket shot. Smith comes all the way back to drop it to Taylor. Taylor, nobody home. It's a turnover. Pushing it the other way, Matt Rial. Now Tobin. Cleaned up quickly there by Najim. A little bit too strong as they're trying to find Galina. Back into the 18. Tobin can't clear it. This is trouble. Bethlehem Steel FC dancing with it, and Tambakis able to handle that shot. No problem, as it's coming in there from Santi Moar from Coruna, Spain.
Good cover there from Alex, and smart here to know that your team's under the gun for the past 5 or so minutes, to play it long, regroup, defend in their half.
Dean Linke along with William Hesmer, the pride of Wilson, North Carolina. What a great soccer town. You know, you think about Gary Hall, and I mean, he's a legend, right? Just fantastic, longtime AD at Barton College, and some great players have come through Wilson.
Definitely. I owe a lot of my soccer successes to Gary. Small community, but a small community that supported soccer through and through.
Turning with it, Herbers again. Herbers had that smoke show that just missed moments ago. Back across. Bethlehem Steel FC, you talk about an answer, William Hesmer, of the goal. They've looked very good the last 5 minutes, sir.
You know, some people argue that you can score too early. I don't buy that argument, but you do have to be careful. Anytime you score early, you have to know that next 5 minutes, your opponent's coming after you. North Carolina FC has not dealt with it so well, but they have kept a 0.
Pushing forward, that combination of Iwolo and Rios.
Great idea there from Rios.
Herbers, boy, he can gobble up real estate quickly. There's Taylor sliding over from that right back position to win it. Right now, the pressure being put on by the visitors. Canziora, Deleuze, great touchback. Deleuze wants it back. Give it to him. He does. Deleuze cleans it up from Canziora. Now Deleuze going to attack. Deleuze can take a shot. Wants it back on his left. Twist himself, as we mentioned. The conditions, a little slick out there between the humidity and the rain.
Yeah, you can see that there's some heavy legs out there at the 22-minute mark.
Looking for Rios. Can't get to him. Headed out of danger. A handball there on Smith as an unlucky bounce, and it'll come back to Bethlehem Steel FC.
And sometimes the weather delay can do that. The game has opened up a ton since the first goal.
Nice restart here for Bethlehem Steel FC. Forward to Moar. Drop back to Mahoney. Now back to Moar. Moar's got Herbers. Herbers with Harrington coming over. Harrington, great job by Harrington with the shield. Lets it roll out of bounds, and we are halfway through the first half. As you see Harrington, your thoughts so far on Colin Clark's team, North Carolina FC?
I think they've accomplished the mission so far. After the goal, I think Colin would hope that they would tighten up the lines a little bit on the break. The defensive midfielder is getting a little out of position, giving Herbers too much time. But so far, so good for North Carolina FC.
If you're Brendan Burke, the head coach of Bethlehem Steel FC, what are you thinking, William Hesmer?
I'm thinking we need more possession. We need to have more time with the ball. They appear to be a little bit heavy in the legs. Not sure if it's the delay, not sure if it's the field or the heat. I think he'd want them to have some more possession.
Get a player's perspective on all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blakedown on the USL YouTube channel. And Jack Blake will feature at halftime. We'll show you his episode, the Blakedown. 24 minutes in, a goal from Peebo Due, the former Mountaineer for West Virginia, left back, lurking on that far post. Becker takes a corner kick. It goes through about 5 white jerseys, William, and finds Due, who just taps it in.
Probably his worst service of the day ends in the goal.
Graham Smith with a Bethlehem Steel sandwich right there, and looks like a card might come out. Let's see it. Oh, yeah. No real attempt to go get the ball right there, so the Akron Zip, Adam Najam, will go in the books.
Yeah, not a lot of effort to play the ball there. Might be a little bit of a harsh yellow card, but referee setting an early tone.
There you see the yellow card for number 24. Also at halftime, it'll be Miller time as Stephen Miller will join us up in the booth. Number 31 out with an injury. So
Bethlehem yellow card to the
talk
25th
to
minute of play.
Miller,
Number
who has
24,
played
Adam
right back and right mid. Canziora. Arrington over to Tobin. Sees Becker make a move. Tobin gonna try to find Becker. Pretty good ball. Goes off the shoulder of Becker. He tries to stay with it. And good defending, but give Tobin credit. Great run from Becker and a pretty good ball.
Yeah, great run from Becker. He initiates the ball. Connor puts it on the spot. Just a tough touch from Kyle Becker.
I want to thank Continental Tire as well as the official hotel partner of North Carolina Football Club, Summit Hospitality, for bringing you today's broadcast and all of the broadcasts for the 2018 USL season. 26 minutes in, it's North Carolina FC 1, Bethlehem Steel FC 0. Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina, where North Carolina FC is rolling at the moment. Drop it all the way back. Jake McGuire played collegiately at Tulsa. Of course, you start to think about pretty good goalkeepers, and Andre Blake, the Jamaican, is pretty good for the Philadelphia Union.
He's a special talent.
Called some of his games when he was at UConn under Ray Reed as part of the Fox Soccer Game of the Week, and man, he was acrobatic then, right? And it hasn't changed.
It's exciting that players like that are now sticking around Major League Soccer. Andre Blake is such a young talent, Jamaican. Past years, you would see a player like that easily head overseas.
Play it up front, taken away there by Smith, doing what Smith does, just always ready. It's kind of fitting that he's got a last name of Smith. Simple work sometimes, right?
Colin will want him to do that all game long. They're going to need him to plug that hole right in front of the back four.
Graham Smith making his 10th start of the USL season. His play has been part of the reason why Broughton High School's Dre Fortune not quite seeing as much time. I talked to Dre before the game, though. His attitude is good. He said he's just going to keep going to work, right? He's got his family support here. Of course, his dad coaches a club. His brother's on that club, and that's all you can do, right, is just be ready.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what you want out of a teammate, both out of Graham and Dre.
Dre is on the bench and available for service if needed tonight. Rios for the good drop to Canziora. Smith now will switch it to Dewey, the goal scorer. Dewey's got Deleuze. He'll quickly give it to him. Deleuze will trap it with his left, give it right back to Dewey with his left. Now here's Smith. Smith, Deleuze calling for it again. Good little touch, and Canziora, good idea, but Dewey not on the same page. It'll be a throw in back to Bethlehem Steel FC.
Great ideas there, and North Carolina FC are having a ton of success on this left side.
North Carolina FC returned to Salem Stadium at WakeMed Soccer Park on Saturday, June 9th to take on Nazmi Abudawi and FC Cincinnati. Now going to Major League Soccer. Big announcement this week. Congratulations to them and all their success. And congratulations to Nazmi Abudawi.
Amazing what FC Cincinnati has been able to build up there. Their attendance numbers, the relevance, very impressive. And rightfully so rewarded with a franchise.
Dewey into space to Rios. Now watch Rios. He can slice and dice you. Let's see what he does here. Gets it on his right foot. Good defending there by Bethlehem Steel FC. So Dewey will drop it back and give it to Deleuze. Deleuze back to Dewey. They'll square it to Smith. Smith now going to try to switch the point of attack. This is Colin Clark soccer at its best. Canziora didn't like what he saw. Couldn't find Taylor, so he'll drop it back to Tobin. Tobin now will probe to Becker. Becker will leave it. Iwolo, Rios Back to Iwolo. Becker stopped his run. Taylor was also open, but a nice sequence from North Carolina FC.
Another great build-up, just lacking in the final touch there from Rios.
Going the other way, fast break opportunity. Harrington taking a look. He's got Tambakis if he needs him, but he doesn't need him. Patiently waiting for Due. Now he'll send it long. Picked off, though, and chest over far side to Mahoney. Too strong there from one of the bigger players on the field. James C. Chambers looks like he could be playing for the Eagles instead of the Philadelphia Union. He's solid at number 45.
Great read there from Michael. And Michael and Connor need to make sure they're talking a lot to Graham and making sure Graham doesn't run too much, doesn't run himself out of bad positions, and he stays in front of them and fills that hole.
Smith comes all the way back to give it to Tobin. Tobin. And Ziora showing, but they can't find him. Look at Smith coming all the way back behind the two center backs just to keep the ball connected. Tobin under some pressure. We'll have to get rid of it. Turnover. Second ball, though, won by Becker. Becker's got Deleuze if he needs him. He'll find him as Deleuze. Becker have the ability to pinch inside. Deleuze from the left, Becker from the right. Right now, Becker's over on the left side. Let's see what Deleuze does. Look at Becker. He's all the way over here on the left on his own. Taylor's over on the right. And let's see if it works out. They push Deleuze now over to the right side. That'll allow Deleuze, of course, to cut in, and Becker the same way. I mean, Becker just takes players with him, and it opens it up now here as Iwolo finds Due. Right back to Becker. Becker, number 10. I felt like the best player on the field against Atlanta, just doing it all. Rios, of course, had the big game with the 2 assists and the goal. Iwolo, too strong for Due.
Becker and Austin Deleuze are showing their quality. That's been the difference so far.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Here at Salem Stadium, Wakeman Soccer Park in Cary. The bright lights shining down. It's 1-0. North Carolina FC on top of Bethlehem Steel. Saw the rainbow as well. Great shot from our crew under the direction of Taylor Hoggard and Joe Driva Ferrara. Iwolo. Smith. Becker over to Taylor. Harrington. Now Due give and go from Deleuze. Iwolo stopped his run, hesitated. Flag did stay down, but they called a foul as Due taken down. Good work from Peebo Due.
Another great build-up on this left side.
Fans, fans for attention tonight to all NCFC free kicks.
You see Due try to slide one through. Referee lets him play on. Sees the goalkeeper's going to beat him to the ball, and rightfully calls it back for a foul.
I got to tell you, I feel like James Chambers has a legitimate complaint because after Due hit it, he kind of fell into him, William Hesmer, and it looked like he was a few feet off the ball, and they bring it back for the free kick. So Becker's over it. So is Canziora. Becker looks really interested, though. Becker with that great right foot. Rios trying to give him some sort of line. Tobin has come forward. Deleuze, who can sky. Iwolo, Due are your targets.
Very important they get runners in front of the goalkeeper. Good early runs, get them in deep. Bounce this ball in front of the goalkeeper. Any touch is going to be a problem.
Conversation here with the referee, who's getting himself a little airtime there as he talks to Iwolo as well as Aubrey. Austin Deleuze, who has been drinking from the Capono Low Fountain of Youth. He's our Ponce de Leon. He seems to get better with age, Deleuze does. Becker, well, he was taking a shot. It was Rios who was lining him up for it. So Rios knew exactly what was going on, and it's a corner kick, North Carolina FC.
I like that out of Becker. Test the goalkeeper, test the goalkeeper. Anything that he spills in these wet conditions, North Carolina FC should be there to clean up.
Talk about cleaning up, too. How about Becker following the shot and immediately getting it out wide with a great pass that leads to the corner?
I've been very impressed with Becker so far.
The Canadian, getting it done. 35th minute, Becker. And that was Connor Tobin who was getting ready to do the robot. That's his goal-scoring dance, and that's always worth the price of admission, number 13. So 36 minutes in, coming at halftime, Stephen Miller. We also will have the Blake down. And then later on, William Hesmer will join me for our first half highlights and stats. North Carolina FC, Peebo Due will feature in the halftime highlights. So will this man right here, Kyle Becker. Trying to find Rios, deflected. It'll come all the way back. A little shaky bounce there, but Jake McGuire has it. Of course, when I see Jake McGuire and I think about great goalkeepers, then I automatically think about a goalkeeper scoring a goal. And that goal you scored for the Columbus Crew, William Hesmer, one of the best.
A lot of fun.
Like just your story of, not knowing where to run and what you do, and they needed to kill time, so that was great.
Yeah, I remember looking back at Jason Gary, wondering, all right, what do I do now? You're the forward, you do this. Tell me what to do.
So you ran to the bench and they said, go to the corner flag, right?
I was so happy I was going to go give everyone on the bench a big hug. Then they pushed me the other way.
That's the great thing about your stats. You look at all the games, 130 for the Crew, and doesn't mention all the saves and the wins in goal, but it's got that one goal popped up there, loud and proud.
It used to bother me that that's what I was known for. Not the championships or the games or the saves or the Columbus Crew records, but I was the guy who scored the goal. Now I own it.
Smith taken down. He'll get the call, 37 minutes. And
It's time for another
with this game and Graham Smith doing the work and then Becker sliding over, take a look at this foul first. Yeah, he's clipped there. Good call. But North Carolina FC, after that goal, heavy pressure, they've been able to get this game back.
I think Colin's going to be very happy with these first 37 minutes. One thing that they're going to have to continue to keep an eye on is they are having such great possession. They are enjoying the ball in Bethlehem Steel's half. However, on the counter, on a couple of occasions, they've been exposed. And it's very important that Graham, Connor, and Michael are all very, very conscientious of that.
Daniel Rios on loan from Chivas Guadalajara. Deleuze over to Due. Due with his left foot across. Rios gets his head on it. Not even sure how he did it. Surrounded by two white jerseys. And Deleuze will lose it. It'll stay with Bethlehem Steel FC. Back quickly, though, Tobin to Smith. Smith to Becker. Becker right back to Smith. 38th minute, walking you up to minute 39. Now Harrington looking for an open blue jersey. Finds one in Canziora. Due. Nothing there for Deleuze, and it'll finally roll out of bounds. Deleuze trying to pin Bethlehem Steel FC in. Canziora will earn a throw-in for North Carolina FC. Give Austin Deleuze a lot of credit there.
I've known Austin since he was maybe 6, 7 years old. They don't make a better soccer brain than his.
Well said. Wake Forest still their all-time assist leader, William Hesmer. Man can deal it, huh? On a
He
dime.
can deal it, but what he doesn't get enough credit for is his work rate. He puts in the work.
There it is. It was his header right there from Deleuze. Finding Iwolo. Now Deleuze will get it back. It was Deleuze with that work rate winning it right on cue from the big man, William Hesmer. Deleuze will drop it back to Canziora. Canziora now to Smith. Smith over to Due. Due's got Deleuze. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with North Carolina FC up 1-0, 40th minute. Canziora showing a lot of activity. The team Boy, they look fresher now than they did in minute 15, don't they? Taylor will try to run it down. Taylor, pretty good trap. Taylor will take it away. DJ Taylor. Oh, my. That's going to be a yellow, I got to believe. Taken down outside of the 18 was DJ Taylor.
Unbelievable effort there from Taylor.
And it's time for another alpaca free kick. Remember, fans in section 105 receiving Byron Geffler offer tomorrow only.
Don't have a replay to show you just because of a technical difficulty, so I'm not totally sure if that was Chambers. Did he? I don't think he gave a card right there. Did you see a card come out?
I did not, and I would be very shocked if there was not a yellow shown on that play.
Wow. All right. So we don't think we saw one, but nonetheless, it's a dangerous opportunity here for Becker. Tobin has come forward. Rios is in there. DeLuz is in there. Iwolo's in there. Due's in there. Smith at the edge. DJ Taylor's open. He could take a runner right now.
Let's see what's cut back.
Becker, a rare miss hit from Becker as he missed everybody.
I thought Becker was going to cut it back to the top of the box.
So now Mahoney with the throw in. Second minute. Early goal from Peebo Due, corner kick Kyle Becker, and it has stood up so far. Taylor. He's been good, William Hesmer, real good.
Very good. Good decisions. Good defensive spots, and he's picked his moments to get into the second half.
Taylor will pop it forward. Rios with a jersey grab, and the referee saw it. It'll come back to Bethlehem Steel FC in the 43rd minute. Daniel Rios, nice pickup for Kirk Johnson, president GM. Steve Malik, of course, the owner, who's brought new life to the franchise, including still talks about Major League Soccer. Taylor will head it back to Tembakis.
Great composure there from Taylor.
How about Steve Malik, though, and his commitment to not only North Carolina FC, but also the North Carolina Courage, who, by the way, have played double-digit games and haven't lost a single game to start the season.
Incredibly impressive. Some of the best players in the world, and for them not to have even lost a game speaks a lot to the quality on that side.
Crowd sticking with it, still making some noise here. They had to wait 30 minutes just to get in, and the kickoff pushed back beyond 7:30, normally just past 7 o'clock. One minute of extra time is the word. Tobin on the peel. Tobin safety first, gets to it, knocks it out of bounds as trying to get to it was Aiden Apodaca, and Apodaca rolling around.
Great recovery from Connor. Gets turned, but has the quickness to come back in, and a great saving tackle.
So with that 1 minute of extra time indication, where they could add some more, is Apodaca. Let's see what happens to him with Tobin. Watch Tobin get to it, though. Like he pulled his hammy before Tobin got there. At least that's what he started grabbing. Brendan Burke, the head coach of Bethlehem Steel FC.
It's a dangerous time for North Carolina FC. They've controlled the majority of the first half. They've been able to get a goal. They were not able to get the second goal. If they were to give up one here in the last couple of minutes, it'd be demoralizing heading into the locker room potentially.
Apodaca not look like he's got a whole lot of interest in coming back into the game, and Brendan Burke is going to be forced to make a change, and it looks like it's going to be number 37, Chris Nanko. So Bethlehem Steel FC bring on Nanko from Canada, played collegiately at Syracuse. Now you see that 1 minute of added time. And it'll be a player advantage right now for North Carolina FC. Now if you're Colin Clark, you got the player advantage. Minute of extra time, you want to ride it out, right? Go into halftime with that 1-0 lead.
We want to, North Carolina FC wants to see this game, or see this half out.
Now they're all even, 11 v 11. Throw in to Nanko off the bench, his first touch. They'll make him throw it in again.
Bethlehem
Sail
Steel
it into the stands. Here we go. Throw in.
Coming out of the game, number 42 in Apodaca. Coming in, number 37, Chris Nanko.
Down near the end line. Come back. Chance for Bethlehem Steel FC. See if they can get it into the 18. Miss hit there by Smith. Cleaned up by Harrington. Safety first here in the final minute. Mahoney waiting for it. Emu, give it to him. Now Mahoney. And there is the whistle. A lot of confusion there, but no confusion for Peebo Due on the far post. He gives North Carolina FC a 1-0 lead here at the half.
Very much deserved. They had, North Carolina FC enjoyed so much success up the left side through Austin DeLuz, Cal Becker, Due, and Due rewarded with the goal.
All right, there is the goal scorer. Peebo Due, assist Kyle Becker. Halftime here at Salem Stadium, WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. It's North Carolina FC 1, Bethlehem Steel FC 0. We come back, we're joined by Stephen Miller. It's Miller time, number 31 in the house.
We didn't have goals at the beginning, like, oh, we're going to get to this number or anything like that. We were just like, we're going to do the stuff that we thought needed to be done, and if people jump on board, great. If not, I mean, and we can try. Traveling is such a huge part of what we do because the United States teams play all over the country. We're down here, Justin, we have 3 players in the American League. See more about scoring and celebrating soccer.com.
Which teams are giving peak performance in the USL? Find out everybody afternoon when USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team ranks after the most recent results. Fans, visit one of our merchandise stands located in the East and West concourses for your favorite North Carolina FC and North Carolina Courage gear tonight.
Halftime here, Salem Stadium, Wakeman Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. USL action. It's North Carolina FC 1, Bethlehem Steel FC 0. The goal from Peebo Due, the left back. We welcome you back upstairs. Logan, everybody. Dean Linke. I told you it was Miller time. That means number 31, Stephen Miller in the house. Stephen, good to see you, though I'd rather see you down on the field. First, get us up to date on the injury you're dealing with.
Yeah, I just picked up a little bit of a tweaked hammy in training on Wednesday. Kind of a precautionary thing. Helped me out tonight. Hopefully I'll be back Tuesday for DC, but if not then, I'd love to be back playing against Nasmi in Cincinnati next Saturday.
Yeah, that'll be a big game. And, you know, you guys have played a ton of games, so safety first, right, if you got a little tweak, right, Stephen?
Yeah, absolutely. Last week, I think we had 3 or 4 games in a short stretch, and then this week coming up as well, we have 4 games in I think 9 or 10 days. So it's a lot of games, short amount of time, so we need to be safe. We have a deep squad, so no problem me sitting out a game and having somebody else step up.
Well, one of those reasons, Kyle Becker, he's so good, right? He can kind of do whatever he wants, and he's been good on the right side, but he's come over to the left side. Nice pickup for the team.
Yeah, he's been great. Just his delivery all over the field on set pieces in the run of play has been great, especially recently. You can see it with the assists he's gotten. But he's just great at maintaining possession for us and setting the tempo and switching the field for us. He's been awesome.
For you, we've been able to say Miller time a couple times already this season, 1 goal and 1 assist. And part of the reason is you've been able to move forward up in midfield. And DJ Taylor, his emergence has helped. Talk about that combination.
Yeah, I mean, we always knew that DJ was going to be a good player. Last year we saw glimpses of it at times, and he's gotten a real bigger opportunity this year, and he's taking advantage of it. So it's been nice for me to be able to get games in the midfield like I did at the end of last year, and obviously I've played a couple games in the back this year as well, but I love being able to step up into the midfield and maybe impact the game a little bit more from that spot.
You already touched on it on Tuesday, DC United, and it's always a great time, right, for teams in USL, and then also last year in the NASL to knock off an MLS team. This time it'll be in DC or in the area. What's it mean to the club to play those MLS teams?
Yeah, it's always great. It's always great to match yourself up against somebody and compete and say, all right, you're supposed to be a better team. Let's see if we can beat you on this day. That's where we want to be as players in the USL. That's always the goal, to move up and play against the best. So it's great for us to be able to see where we are and see where we stand, and always, you know, they have the target on their back and we have the opportunity to knock them off and move on. The last couple of years we've been close and haven't gotten it done, unfortunately, but hopefully this year we can get it done.
All right, last question is, you also mentioned Nasbi Abadawi coming back here on June 9th with FC Cincinnati. It's a double question. One, FC Cincinnati announced they're going MLS next year, which is exciting, but then also talk about Nasbi Abadawi, first MLS, then Nasmi.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for Cincinnati. Obviously, they've proven that they've done things right, and, you know, they sell out the stadium. They do things right in Cincinnati, and they were rewarded by MLS with the franchise, so that's great for them. Hopefully we can follow in their footsteps a little bit, and in a couple of years we'll be announced, and we'll have that opportunity to be in the MLS. But as far as Nas is concerned, you know, a little bit. He's one of my best friends, so I can say some stuff about him. But obviously, I was really happy when we went out to Cincinnati and scored a couple goals. You know, it was awful to be on that side of it, but I was really happy for him at the same time. He's earned it. He deserves it. He's a great player. I can't wait for him to be back in North Carolina. I'm sure the fans will welcome him warmly here, but I'm just looking forward to seeing him again. He's one of my best friends, so it'll be great to see him.
Looking forward to seeing you back out there as well. Always fun with Miller.
Okay.
Stephen Miller, Miller time, right? All right, Jack Blake, of course, with the Blake Down, the Tampa Bay Rowdy superstar. Let's go Blake Down time right now.
Welcome to another episode of the Blake Down. This week I've handpicked some of my favorite plays from the week. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Back across to lose. Iwolo, still loose, and how about?
This play from Iwolo starts here. You know, he wins the header, and that allows his striker to go through on goal. The commitment to win the header and then follow it through with the run and the support as well, because he could just stop. He could stop his run and expect the striker to score, but he follows it through. He doesn't take the best of first touches when it comes back to him, but he has the composure to take another touch and relax. So a cheeky double nutmeg to finish it off.
There, finds Perez. Perez with the back heel. It's there, and a goal! Joaquin Rivas!
This play is more about the assist. When he picks it up, it's very difficult because he has 2 defenders on him. He uses his awareness. His spatial awareness is fantastic. He tries to stay in the box as long as possible, and then the support run from Rivas is also tremendous. It looks an easy skill, but it's not. It's very difficult. And again, Rivas's finish on the weaker foot into the far corner. Again, it's a brilliant play.
Combine well with others. We saw him a few weeks ago with Fresno. Oh, this is dangerous opportunity here. Strike, and we are equal.
This has to be one of my favourite plays from the week. When Lopez gets the better of his defender here, he sees the keeper coming out. His first touch actually takes him on a tight angle. And when you see this frame here, he knows he's got 3 defenders rushing back to goal. So that when he takes his strike, he knows that he has to put pace on it. Now, to put pace on it from that angle is a very difficult technique. I don't think if he had that moment again, he could do it any better. You know, it's a fantastic finish, perfect, with 3 defenders running back to goal. It has to be my favourite play of the week.
Mendez, good ball. Here's Zubak looking for number 3, and he scores!
The connected movement from Ethan Zubak and his fellow strike partner here is fantastic. You know, he comes to feet and he drags the defender with him, and then he uses his agility and his speed to get past the defender with just a simple movement, a simple step. Again, to have that partnership with your striker is something that's very strong, and it will hold him in good stead for the season. There's a reason why he's player of the week. Out of his 4 goals that he scored, that was my favourite, purely because of the movement and the tactical awareness from both of them.
When I saw Alex Mendez get the ball from an entry pass, I just knew I had to spin off, and when the ball came right to my feet on top of the box, I just decided to go for it and finish it.
I hope you've all enjoyed this week's episode of The Breakdown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, Jack Blake, and everybody settled in here with North Carolina FC on top of Bethlehem Steel FC by a score of 1-0. Still time to scramble up the standings. Let's take a look now at the current USL standings here at halftime. FC Cincinnati, what a story. Big crowds, big results, 23 points to lead the table. Louisville City FC, they won it last year. Charleston Battery right in the mix, but as you flip the table and you see there's Nashville at 16 points, the top 8 teams make the playoffs, but certainly it's still anybody's game. Indy 11 sitting right there at 9, Ottawa Fury FC at 15. When you flip the table, you'll find Bethlehem Steel FC. You'll also find North Carolina FC, and a win for North Carolina FC, and they're knocking on the door right there. Bethlehem Steel FC a win, and they would be right there near the top 8, if not in it. Taking a look at scores around the league, FC Cincinnati with another win, knocking off the Red Bulls. Right now, Richmond leading the Riverhounds. No score between Nashville and Penn, and zeros between Ottawa and Charlotte. Tampa Bay featuring Jack Blake, and Atlanta United 2. Our halftime score is North Carolina FC 1, Bethlehem Steel FC 0. We'll be back with William Hesmer for our first half highlights and stats. How about North Carolina FC? They're on top 1-0.
In soccer, every second is monumental. Every moment of the 90 minutes is backed up by months of training, hours of perfecting passes, weeks of tuning your touch. You put in the time searching for your next advantage. We provide the gear that helps you earn it.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
My name is Clint Dempsey, and I play for Seattle Sounders. If you played on the club team, it gave you an opportunity to get a scholarship in soccer. So going to Dallas, so we lived in Nacogdoches. I went for my first tryout, not really thinking I was going to make it, and ended up making the team. And then it was the reality set in. My parents were like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to be able to drive 3 hours one way and 3 hours back? I was just lucky that I had parents who were crazy enough to drive me that far to get that coaching. See more at celebratingsoccer.com.
Hot and steamy, even a little bit of rain, but North Carolina FC still doing great things here at home. They lead Bethlehem Steel FC at the half by a score of 1-0. We welcome you back upstairs. Hello again, everybody. Dean Linke along with the pride of Wilson, North Carolina, William Hesmer. And William, it's time to go to work as we show you the highlights. Kyle Becker was so great. Good stuff here. Becker all over the field.
Becker was a threat the entire first half, serving dangerous balls, made himself a nuisance in the midfield. Great finish by Douay.
Yeah, that corner kick gets all the way through like 3-4 white jerseys, and there's Douay with his first career goal for North Carolina FC, and the fans loved it. Well, Bethlehem Steel FC would show a little bit of fight, though.
They did, and I think for as much possession as North Carolina FC had, they're going to be happy. As much as they were dominated, they're only down 1-0.
That was Fabian Herbers. Graham Smith taking the collision. Najim, number 24, would get the yellow card. There's Herbers, the player that we featured to start the game. Becker took a shot from distance. This is also good as Canziora earns a corner kick as Becker stays with it. And taking a look at the stats, anything stand out? You see the fouls are even, shots on target, just one. 6-3, though, in shots for North Carolina FC.
Again, for as much possession as they had, and as dangerous as North Carolina FC was, they were not able to test the Bethlehem Steel goalkeeper, Jake McGuire.
So both teams out on the field, getting set for the second half. As William Hesmer and I get untangled up here in the broadcast booth, ready to go. Brandon Burke, the head coach for Bethlehem Steel FC, and Alex Tambakis, who, short of seeing that Herbers rocket shot slide by the far post, hasn't had to do a whole lot.
No, he's been proactive in organizing his defense. He's dealt with the things he's had to deal with, and most importantly, when it's time to go long, he's not afraid to punt it into the Bethlehem Steel half.
All right, second half underway. We're so glad you're with us here on WRAL2, ESPN Plus, and various other media outlets. Flag stays down. Bethlehem Steel FC trying to answer early on here. Smith will try to clean it up. Becker again playing that right side for Stephen Miller. Good to spend time with number 31 as it was Miller time at halftime. He's hoping to be back on the pitch against DC United. If not, he hopes to play against one of his best friends, Nazmi Abadawi, next Saturday right here at Wakeman Soccer Park, 7 o'clock. FC Cincinnati in the house. That's pretty exciting.
Great team. Off to a great start to start the season, but as we mentioned at halftime, a lot left to play this summer.
Well, you wonder as well. You see those great crowds with FC Cincinnati, and William, I thought you did a great job pointing out that that's the reason why they deserve an MLS team like right this moment. You wonder if we'll see, I think it's maybe less than 8 hours from Cincinnati to here. Maybe you'll see some orange in town, just like old days.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There's Tambakis. What do you see out of him as a guy who played so many games in MLS?
I like his composure. He's made good decisions. He's directed his team well. A tough night with the rain delay, the rain coming down heavy. Very important that he's encouraging and energizing his team, and so far he's been up to all the tasks.
All right, North Carolina FC going to try to get a handle on it, get some offense going. Just a couple minutes in here, the second half.
It's a quick update on the PDL match
with
on
the only
field
goal of the
number 2.
game.
Also hampered a little bit by lightning this afternoon. Our U23s are victorious over the Tobacco Road FC. They won that game 2-1.
Push forward, this is trouble, Tambakis! There's that composure, read it perfectly, and denied.
Great read from Alex.
And Kill 90, at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, EDT, Courage and Houston.
Middle of the park. So Coach Burke got to be happy with what he's seen so far, short of not being able to put it in the back of the net. But Tambakis, you know the deal, William Hesmer. You heard your coach tell you in the early days of being a goalkeeper, you got to make a couple big saves for your team no matter what the opposition.
You're exactly right. You can sit on your hands for 80 minutes But it's the one big moment that your team needs. You better be ready. And for Coach Clark, this is exactly the start he did not want to see. 3 minutes in and already with a couple quality chances from Bethlehem Steel.
49th minute. Tambaka's going to take his time. Becker to Rios. Rios to Smith. Smith going to try to switch it to DeLuz. DeLuz, a little bit of a foot race. And held off there far side by Matt Mahoney. Mahoney has played more minutes than any member of this Bethlehem Steel FC team that has seen 29 players get at least a game so far. And that includes full-time players with the Philadelphia Union and a ton of academy players. You talked to Coach Burke about it. They are not afraid at all to go to academy.
They are not. And they're also not afraid to play their academy players with the first team. As you've seen with Fabian Herbers down here, you know, if a player's not performing, they'll send them to Bethlehem Steel to get games and to prove that they deserve to be with the first team.
Whistle. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer as Iwolo earning the whistle. There's DJ Taylor, number 27. Smith, like he wanted a handball, won't get it. I want to thank our crew, Taylor Hoggard, Joe Ferrara, Savannah Revel, Colin Thrash, who had a birthday a couple days ago. Happy birthday, Mr. Thrash. Just turned 13. Quinton Brenner, Brian Ware, Curtis Adams, Matt McCullough, Austin Edwards, and Colin Thrash. Iwolo. Becker! Oh, I thought Becker was going to unleash some Canadian heat right there. Hard tackle from DJ Taylor, and Colin Clark likes it. It's his play that has allowed Stephen Miller to push up. And of course, Miller's out, but Taylor has been a mainstay at right back for Colin Clark.
I've been very impressed with DJ Taylor tonight.
I'm guessing that when Colin Clark was with Dallas in Major League Soccer, you played against him.
That's correct.
What do you remember about his teams at the MLS level, William Hesmer?
Competitive. They were tough, they were hard-nosed, and in that Dallas heat, it was always a difficult point to try and go get points, much less a point.
Plus wearing that goalkeeper jersey as well in that Dallas heat, right? Different level, the gloves.
It's time for
There's Colin Clark. I bet those gloves smelled really, really good after I came against Dallas. You know what I'm talking about.
He was smart enough not to shake my hand.
So here's Becker again with the corner kick. Another corner kick brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery Keno. Carolina Keno gives you the chance to win up to $100,000 every 5 minutes. Becker trying to find Iwolo and cleared off the line there by Jake McGuire. Visit nclottery.com to find out where you can play Carolina Keno. We thank North Carolina Education Lottery, Alpaca Peruvian Chicken, Continental Tire, Summit Hospitality, and all the great sponsors of North Carolina FC. '53rd minute. Back to McGuire. William Hesmer, it's one of those games where if you're Colin Clark, DeJuan Bader, and the coaching staff for North Carolina FC, you're feeling pretty good. But it's only 1-0, so it's one of those games where you just can't rest on anything, right? You got to keep pushing.
Especially with a wet night, rain coming in and out, weather delay. Very, very important that the next goal comes from North Carolina FC if you're Colin Clark.
Bethlehem Steel, bomb it long. There's the goal scorer, Douay. Look at Deleuze, drop it perfectly. Anziora, dispossessed. Just a little bit too strong and out of the reach of Chris Nanko, who came on for Aiden Apodaca.
Wow. Flexibility.
Wolo, just 21 years old, from Cameroon. To be fair, the same age as the aforementioned Colin Thrash, who finally reached 21. Here's Iwolo. Iwolo with his right foot. It's a little bit dangerous, but saw a lot of white jerseys, decided just headed it across in the 18.
A lot of composure with that header. If I was his goalkeeper, he might be hearing about it.
I would think so. Middle of the park. Bethlehem Steel FC, there's Smith again. The man is everywhere. Nothing fancy, not flashy, just work, work, work. Anziora behind Deleuze, Becker! But right to Jake McGuire. They switch it. The battle. Becker, what a ball from Becker. What a ball. I mean, not only did he keep it from going out of bounds, but somehow a weird angle popped it into space right to Rios.
He's been everywhere tonight. Almost all of his touches have been spot on. All of his ideas have been spot on. Here with this shot, probably had a little bit more time than he realized. Could have taken a touch and banged it far post.
All right, so Becker now got a chance to. Referee says move it back a few more. Oh no, he's one of those. Move it back even further.
But back to Graham Smith. Not only has he put in tons of tackles, tons of miles already in the first half, he completed every single one of his passes in the first half. Very, very impressive.
Colin Clark's going to get off his bench there as Elvis Asmanovic. Wow, they're going to call a foul against North Carolina FC, middle of the park, as Nanko goes down. So Chris Nanko is actually how you say it, the Canadian down in the middle of the field.
Good foul there from Connor Tobin, stopping the counter. Maybe a little bit of a harsh yellow card, but tough to argue with it.
Yellow card in the 57th minute of play, number 13, Connor Tobin.
So a free kick opportunity. Nanko will lose it. All the way forward, Rios. Rios trying to stay with it. Iwolo. Here's Becker. Taylor. Get Becker to keep it alive. Back to Taylor, 58th minute, 1-0 North Carolina FC to go out of bounds off of Bethlehem Steel. Becker with his left denied. Tobin steps in. Tobin just got that yellow card against Nanko. Nanko. Tobin all over him. Colin Clark trying to get on the referee a little bit, who appears to like the camera just a little bit.
I think Colin Clark had a good argument there. Nanko had a good tug on Connor Tobin, allowed him to get around it, but Connor battled through it, kept fighting, didn't complain, won it back.
Keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. Too long, too strong for the outside back. It'll go out of bounds. Not able to track it down as Matt Rial. Now the official is going to come over and talk to the bench. And Colin Clark gets up off his bench. See him sitting there with DeJuan Bader, Greg Shields, Nick Platter, Michael Milazzo. Iwolo to Becker. Anziora will go out of bounds. Both teams now, William Hesmer, have their benches up, and it looks like Coach Burke with Bethlehem Steel is going to make a change first. Usually Colin Clark likes to wait a little bit longer, 65th to 70th minute. Nanko coming in out of nowhere is Canziora. What a tackle from Canziora.
Great tackle. I like what I've seen from both teams already. North Carolina FC not sitting in, going for the second goal, and obviously Bethlehem Steel having to press to find the equalizer.
I agree. It's been a solid 15 minutes to start the second half. Well said by William Hesmer. So glad he can step in as we send our best to the wife of Jason Gary, a little under the weather. Of course, Jason Gary, like you, +1, chasing little ones around the house, so never easy. I know you got 2 young ones, 2 boys, 4 and under, right?
4 and 2 years old. It's a handful, but I owe a lot to Jason Gary. Jason's wife introduced me to my wife, so Jason and I are still really close friends. Hoping her all the best tonight.
Rios off his chest to Deleuze. Deleuze. Douay's going to make the run. Douay's got one already. Is he going to try to brace it? Great pass! Rios was open. So was the far post, but he missed it.
Great service here. Unbelievable ball. Daniel Rios rises up. He's going to want that one back.
Yeah, I just don't think McGuire had anything to do with that if that goes far post.
If he gets that anywhere on frame to the back post, tough one for McGuire to change his direction.
It's in, right? Yeah. All right, we got a sub here. Coming in is Drew Skundrich for Coach Burke. And Herbers, player we put the spotlight on, who started 3 games already for Philadelphia Union. There's Ernie Stewart up there. Ernie Stewart, by the way, one of my favorite all-time members of the U.S. national team after the World Cup. And I know, William, you're going to make the comment even before I do that they wouldn't fit me anymore, but he gave me 2 of his suits that they gave all of the players. Because back then I could wear an Ernie Stewart suit. As you take a look at that head ball right there. And Iwolo goes looking for it. How about Ernie Stewart, though? He was a great player for the USA, wasn't he?
Great player, great soccer mind, great person, and it looks like he might be in line to be the next general manager of U.S. Soccer.
Sad thing is I think that suit might fit like one of my legs right now.
Sadly, Dean, I know the feel. Getting old's not a lot of fun.
63rd minute, Canziora is up with the training staff for North Carolina FC helping him out. Gonna remind everybody, you know it, Nazmi Abadawi back here at Salem Stadium on Saturday, June 9th as North Carolina FC takes on FC Cincinnati. Tickets to this match are on sale now and can be purchased online at northcarolinafc.com or by calling the North Carolina Football Club ticket office at 919-454-8144.
Imagine he's looking forward to his trip back here.
Oh, you know it. Grew up here, went to high school here, played collegiately at NC State. Grew up going to the games, then named Carolina Railhawks. Always wanted to play for the team. Became captain back-to-back. best 11 of the NASL. Of course, now North Carolina FC proud to be part of the USL. But man, what a player. Just to witness him get better and better and better, and just a meteoric rise for Abadawi.
And surprisingly, he's still not getting the credit he deserves. I know it was hard for him to leave his hometown club, but hard to argue with the decision that he made.
64th minute. Still just 1-0 favor of the home team. North Carolina FC trying to go for 5 in a row here, including Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup action, which, by the way, North Carolina FC will take on DC United on Tuesday night. Specifics on where to catch that game are still being worked on. Kind of crossing my fingers that I'll be able to go up to the DC area and bring that call for you. Nothing locked in stone yet, but that's what we're trying to do. We'll see. DeLue sent in. What a finish there by Rios, but denied there by McGuire, as it's not a total finish, but a nice shot from Rios.
Another great service from the left side. This one coming from Austin DeLuce. Rios, he's inching up on one, Dean.
You know it. That's why we started the show talking about number 14. Nifty move there, cut inside, as that was Matt Rial. Wolo back to Canziora. Colin Clark still considering his options for a sub. Of course, the human highlight reel, T. Shipolani, is also another weapon to come late. And I like him even if you're up 1-0, because, well, he can take the ball and make long runs, right, and break you down. Here's Becker. Look at Becker. Right back to Rios. Rios, corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Great win from Becker. Good counter. Rios in a good spot. Good defending from Bethlehem Steel.
Right, fans, let's get excited for another Carolina.
Number 1-4.
Been very busy. Very unlucky to not have a goal.
To find out where you can play Carolina Kino.
So it's looking like Marios Lomas will be the first choice to come in. Of course, Lomas scoring one of those 4 goals in that win over Atlanta United 2 last Friday night here, special Friday night edition. That is knocked out of bounds, and another corner kick. And at 66 minutes, if you're North Carolina FC, great work by Canziora, but you're taking your time. You are not in a hurry to get over there.
No rush. Heavy legs, wet field, up 1-0. Dominating the second half so far. However, there's got to be a sense of feeling from North Carolina FC that they haven't had the second goal yet, and they know how that can end if they don't find the dagger.
Becker with the right foot, near post. Sent out Harrington. Bit of a foot race. This is trouble here. And it's one, and a little flick from behind, as they call a foul on Harrington. He's going to get a yellow card.
Bethlehem Steel on the counter. Michael Harrington forced to get a piece of him and take him down. That's now a yellow card for Michael, a yellow card for Connor. North Carolina FC's 2 center backs are going to have to be careful the rest of the game.
Great point. Tobin will turn. Tobin sitting on one of those yellows. Spun out of there. That looked like it was mishit. It was, and a goal kick. Tambakis approves of the work from number 13. The captain tonight, Connor Tobin, as Lomas getting ready to check in. So Lomas now comes in with 3 goals and 2 assists. And a nice weapon to have, number 9, Marios Lomas will come on for Iwolo. Lomas from the Netherlands. Speaking of Ernie Stewart, by the way. So Lomas will come on. Scored a goal and played 90 minutes in North Carolina FC's 3-0 win over Lansdowne in the Open Cup, and then scored a goal and added an assist in their victory over Ocean City. So here's a player using the opportunity to get a start in the Open Cup and producing.
That's what you like to see from Coach Clark, rewarding his guys with minutes.
Of course, he came on against Atlanta United 2 to get the final goal in that 4-0 thrashing of Atlanta, a game that was controlled pretty much every facet of the game by North Carolina FC. Great cross sent in there by Lomas. Back to Becker. Becker now will look for Deleuze. Deleuze still fighting. Peebo Doué, he's the goal scorer. Doué dancing with it. Back again, Rios fighting amongst the trees, and I think Rios got it. It'll go off of him and back to Bethlehem Steel. Here we go, minute 69, walking you up to minute 70, still 1-0. Flag is up, offside. Bethlehem Steel, Coach Burt still approving though. They'll play it back, and Harrington's got no problem. If Bethlehem Steel doesn't want to get it to him, he's not too worried about it. Be a throw in. There's Harrington on it now. Tobin back to Tembakis. Taylor. "20 minutes, and you can expect that urgency train to hit full throttle here now for Bethlehem Steel."
You wonder when Coach Burke might make a sub, change a formation, put a little more pressure on North Carolina FC's back line, especially knowing that the two center backs are sitting on yellow cards.
He's made 2 already, so he's only got 1 left. Remember, he had to make that 1 right at the end of the first half as he saw Apodaco go down with what looked like a hamstring pull. And Herber's also coming out of the game here in the second half. Colin Clark has made 1 change so far. Taylor. Panziora. Becker. He'll go out of bounds. Throw in for DJ Taylor. Becker denied. Well, he could hit him left or right, can he?
Very surprised to see Bethlehem Steel give him that amount of space.
With that, though, the counter is on for Bethlehem Steel FC. Denied there by Smith. He's a holding mid that has been everywhere, including, you remember, earlier in the game, he dropped behind the 2 center backs to help out. William Hesmer, I'm going to put you on the spot. The best holding midfielder you ever played with?
I'm extremely biased. My freshman year roommate, Brian Carroll, who spent, I believe, 5 or 6 years with the Philadelphia Union, the parent team of the Bethlehem Steel. We played together in Columbus, won a championship, won a couple supporter shields. He's won a couple championships. I think he's won 4 or 5 supporter shields. Guy who never received the credit that he deserves. For me, he was my number 1 if I had to pick.
Rios with the shot from distance as he continues to try to get that second goal of the game. Daniel Rios. Take a look at this opportunity right here, William Hesmer.
Great fight, great fight. Shot's a little bit off.
Peebo Doué.
Good read by Doué. Not a lot there.
Tell you what, this official has made himself a part of the action tonight.
And as a player, all you want is consistency from the official.
74th minute. Bouncing around, Tempakis thought himself kind of leaning the other way and had to go back to the near post.
Tempakis has been in all the right spots tonight. Very impressed with his reading of the game, his composure, and very clean for the wet surface.
Looks like that goes off of Bethlehem Steel. It does. It'll be a goal kick, 74th minute. Tempakis is going to take his time.
As we creep into the last 20 minutes of this game, North Carolina FC is going to have to be very conscientious of how much they're really pressing for the second goal. Measure their risk, measure their reward, perhaps sit in a little bit more and see this game out for a 1-0 victory. Counter, Bethlehem Steel is going to need to start throwing more and more players forward. And right now, their best opportunities look like they're on the counter.
Graham Smith called for the foul. Reminding you about that FC Cincinnati game, you can call the Coastal Credit Union box office at 919-454-8144. Taylor across. Lomas, he's thinking shot the entire way. He was not going to pass it. Deflected out of there. Douay's underneath it. Douay, can he stay with it? Deleuze will slip. Boy, you feel like if anybody deserves a break, it's that man right there, number 6, who looks like he's just starting the game, just getting ready for a little run here. He still looks loose.
North Carolina FC is giving him a little bit of a break on the left side these past 15 minutes, but not much.
Bethlehem Steel FC. They're just a goal away from tying this, folks. Just a goal away. Handled, though. Great job by Harrington over to Taylor. Becker, back to Taylor. Taylor almost going out of bounds. Saved. Flag will stay down. Nanko. That was out of bounds. Yep, late whistle, but there it comes. North Carolina courage continue on the road right now. Another impressive win over Portland midweek. They'll be in Houston. They'll be back in a couple weeks, June 16th, to take on Utah. Utah's first visit to Salem Stadium, Wakeman Soccer Park. Big time soccer. I think they're the best women's pro team in the world. Paul Riley's such a great coach. Here's Rios. Of course, Paul Riley, familiar name to fans in Philadelphia. Coach of the Philadelphia Independents. He's with Albertson Fury out of Long Island. Phenomenal coach. Here's Douay. North Carolina FC, William Hesmer, you said it, they continue to push, trying to look for that second goal, but they also can be exposed when they do.
You've got to be very careful. They're rightfully so pushing forward for the second goal. Have to be extra mindful now that Bethlehem Steel are pushing extra numbers forward and their legs are heavier.
Galena a moment ago. Here's Chambers. Dropped over there to Moar. Santi Moar. Come all the way back. Real, left back, was waiting on it. He won't get it. 1-0 North Carolina FC on top of Bethlehem Steel FC. Of course, we couldn't be here without the great Jorge Acuna, in charge of broadcasting for North Carolina FC.
Bethlehem Steel starting to enjoy some possession. North Carolina FC sitting in a little bit more.
Becker. Anziora. Here's Taylor. Taylor, they're going to play advantage. Referee does well to hang on to his whistle. Trying to angle the ball, though. Taylor, right idea. If he could pop it a little further, William Hesmer, to Austin DeLuz, he was open.
They were in.
79th minute, just like that, it comes right back the other way. On it now is Najim. Oh my, Tambakis was ready, and Tambakis comes up big again near post. Those are dangerous balls right there.
Good run from Najim. Good piece on it. Good defending from Connor Tobin that only gives him the near post, which makes it easy on Alex Tambakis to make the save.
I think that was Matt Mahoney coming all the way forward near post. Canziora, middle of the park to Smith. Smith now will find DeLuz. Minute 79. 11 minutes and change, and it looks like Broughton High School's own Dre Fortune is going to come on here for Colin Clark. Dre Fortune, known for calming a game down. Just has that easy peasy flow to him. Here's Becker. Becker can give it a go. Becker! Deflected corner kick, North Carolina FC.
As this game opens up, we're going to see more and more of these opportunities for North Carolina FC. Cal Becker receives a pass directly from Connor Tobin, is afforded about 20 yards of space. Deflected out for a corner. You can't help but feel there's another goal left in this game.
So Rios, who's been very good, just a little bit unlucky, is going to come out of the game. Dre Fortune, and we've seen Fortune this year actually push forward quite a bit and sometimes act like a center forward. So we'll see what they do with him. Number 8, as he comes on, doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to sit in the middle, as Colin Clark's not been afraid to push him forward. So we'll see where they put number 8. At the moment, it's another corner kick for Becker, brought to you by Apaca Peruvian Charcoal Chicken. Here's Smith. Smith finds nobody home. 81st minute. Taylor, great hip check. Fantastic defending.
Great counter, great win from Taylor.
Lomas over to Becker. Becker knew DeLuz was going to be there. Just turned and put it into space. DeLuz looping left foot, handled by McGuire. McGuire, boy, I thought he was going to push it right down the middle of the field, but nobody was there. As it is right now, it's 4-on-6. Here's a pass, though, into the 18. They can tie it right here. And not on frame. Tambakis, you can see him get up saying, come on, we got to close him down.
That's the counter we discussed, Dean. Gets a good run, good look at it, great strike. Unbelievable save from Alex Tambakis.
Off of Tambakis' corner kick. Back in, Tobin. Look at that. Doesn't just head it away, heads it to DeLuz. Those are the little things you appreciate right there. Of course, they give it right back. We are seeing Dre Fortune sit up top here as part of the 4-4-2. Nanko. Corner kick, Bethlehem Steel FC, 83rd minute. If you're Tambakis, what are you trying to do right now?
Calm guys down. You're under pressure for the past 5 minutes. You've had to make a couple of big saves. Now you want guys to focus in, maybe 10 minutes left, dig in deep, see the game out, get the 3 points.
Great to have William Hesmer's point of view, the MLS veteran goalkeeper. Sent in, cleared out of there. Still with it, loose, dangerous, gotta be careful. Smith tried to defend, back across. Looks like we may be tied, and we are. You felt it coming, you knew it was coming, and we are tied 1-1. The goal coming from the big man in the back, Ben Ofimu.
Ofimu, right place, right time. As we go to this, Bethlehem Steel, they were inching on it, unlucky not to get a header there. Tough break from Loomis. Loomis trying to get back, do everything he can. Good finish.
Yeah, you could call it an own goal. I don't think they will. I think they'll give it to Ofimu as it was directed on frame off of Lomas. And the goal in the 83rd minute. Saw that one coming. Called it, William. Knew it was coming.
We did. It had the feel. Anytime you dominate a game, you have that many chances and you don't put them away. 9 times out of 10, it comes back to haunt you.
So now we're tied at 1, and it'll be up to Lomas and Dre Fortune up top to see if they can scratch one in here. Lomas will try to run it down. Ofimu, the man who scored the equalizer for Bethlehem Steel. Lomas thought it was off Ofimu. They'll say no, off of Lomas. It'll be a goal kick. And now the team that's going to take the ball right out of the air is not North Carolina FC, who really weren't anyway. It's Bethlehem Steel.
Bethlehem Steel will now go into time-killing mode.
You get a point on the road, that's a well-earned point, right? Isn't that the rule?
After this performance, after the pressure they've taken, very, very few amount of chances they were able to create. They'll be very happy with a point, but they might sneak away with one here.
Yeah, great point. Into the 18 again, square, there it is! There it is, you saw that one coming. And just like that, Bethlehem Steel gonna try to steal one here in Cary, North Carolina. Brilliant work, you saw it coming, and the goal slid in there by Michi Galena.
Great counter all the way around. Again, comes down the right side of the field. Good run from Galena. Even better ball to the back post. Easy tap in, nothing Timbakis could do there.
By way of the Congo and into the back of the net, Michi Galena. Absolutely. Boy, you talk about the fact we had a 30-minute delay for Lightning. You talk about stealing the thunder of the home team. Coach Burke's Bethlehem Steel FC has done that just right now.
You give up the late time goal. You think you're going to go press for the second goal. You get countered. They score the second goal. A veteran team like North Carolina FC, I expect them to respond with the right mentality and press it, and we should have an exciting finish here, Dean.
Here's Deleuze. Deleuze, pretty good ball, finds the head of Lomas, but handled there by McGuire. They're going to bring on the human highlight reel, T. Shipalani, to see if he can change the game here late. There he is, now wearing number 22 or 11 for so many years. Thought maybe he was done with it, but continued to show up at training, earned himself a contract just over a week ago. Got in that game against Atlanta. Didn't have much to do, up 4-0. We'll see what he can do now. Fortune is on it. Dre Fortune. He'll square to Becker. Becker. Diagonal ball to Taylor and taken away as Taylor makes a pretty good run, but now that exposure is there again, William Hesmer.
And naturally, it'll continue to be, Dean. North Carolina FC's now put it themselves in a spot where they're going to have to take that risk.
It's going to be Kanziora going to try to hustle off real quick for T. Shipalani. So T. Shipalani is South African, wearing number 22. No longer wearing his shorts backwards. Told me last week because they said they would find him if he did, so he keeps them on the right way. So Shipalani is on. They'll need a spark from him. He'll be on that right side as they'll move Becker inside and up top. So this will come back to Timbakis, who sees his team now down 2-1 in a game that looked like was in the bag for North Carolina FC, but felt like we said all along, it's never in the bag. Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. Here's Shipalani. He'll push it outside to Taylor. Taylor back across and denied. Now the clock, the enemy of North Carolina FC. Who would have thunk it? Boy, that Bethlehem Steel name would be perfect, right? Because if they somehow come out here with 3 points, now we've got a player down for Bethlehem Steel. Colin Clark not happy at all as a player goes down. It's a man who just scored what would be the game-winning goal if it ended right now, and that is Michi Galina. Now Becker talking to the referee. Looks like he wants to give Becker a card. No, Becker wants to give DeLuz a card. So DeLuz gets a yellow. Got a yellow as well against Atlanta. Oh, now he's got a red card out.
It's a yellow card in the 89th minute of play to number 6, Austin DeLuz.
Okay, he put it back in. You saw that red there, though, didn't you?
I did. Interesting to see why he hasn't gone to attend to the injured player yet. Now he's finally escorting him off, it appears. I was never a big fan of this strategy by Galena. Gives North Carolina FC time to regroup, time to discuss, and you know the minutes are going back on the clock in the latter stages of the game when they're throwing everything back at you.
All right, there's my man, Mike Catalano from University of Wisconsin, played for John Trask. Chris Mueller now in the league with Orlando. Mark Segbers with New England. Tommy Barlow also. And Mike Catalano, that was the law firm at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Catalano was a key part of that Badger team, and he'll get on wearing number 41.
His task from Coach Burke is simply to see this game out.
Bethlehem Steel substitution coming out of the game in added time, number 46, Michi Galina. Coming into the game, number 41, Mike Catalano.
So 4 minutes.
It'll be a minimum of 4 minutes of added time in the second half. 4 minutes.
Tobin, right foot, pops it forward. So we got 4 minutes. Looks like we've already used one of them. We'll see. And boy, you talk about more stalling going on. McGuire. Off the head of Taylor and out of bounds, and everything going wrong right now for North Carolina FC.
That'll take another minute or so off.
Staying with it, Bethlehem Steel FC down under that corner flag. It'll go off of Taylor. Nope, they'll say it didn't, but looked like it did. It'll be a throw-in. North Carolina FC. Cipollani will throw it in quickly to Tobin. Tobin will switch it to Harrington. Long way to go here. They got to go the distance. They'll give it to Smith. Smith will turn. Cipollani's open. He's got Taylor making the run. Cipollani's going to cut it back. Cipollani, the human highlight reel, going to try to make one here. DeLuz, tough ball, Becker's there. Now Dewey. Dewey's got one already. Corner kick, North Carolina FC. And here comes North Carolina FC.
Phenomenal build out all the way from Connor Tobin receiving the throw in at the 6-yard box. Go up the right side, switch it, now with a corner kick.
Corner kick driven in. McGuire is there though, and he'll fall down to the ground. He knew he would.
That's what you need out of your goalkeeper. Sure hands in extra time.
Here the supporters from North Carolina FC counting down the amount of time the goalkeeper had it. Harrington sent back away, And you see right there, about a minute left in this one. So a little over 60 seconds for North Carolina FC to try to tie it. Tobin. Final seconds here as Bethlehem Steel FC looked like North Carolina FC had all of the game. Now Nainco is going to head over to the corner. Final 20 seconds. Tobin comes over. He wins it. Now Taylor. What a nifty touch by Taylor. Remember that touch. And he's taken to the ground. Referee turns his head the other way. It'll be a goal kick. And he may look at his watch as well. I don't think Colin Clark is going to be super pleased with the man in the middle. Of course, you never are when you lose anyway.
Never.
So you wonder if they'll give North Carolina FC one more shot to try to make something happen. It pings around. If it goes back to Bethlehem Steel FC, I feel like the referee's going to blow the whistle, and that could be just about it. They'll pop it over into the corner. Nainco will try to run it down. He may turn around, head to the flag again. He does. Tobin comes over. Can't win it. It'll come back to North Carolina FC. Looks like the referee giving him ample time here. This will be it for sure. One last chance. Due for Lomas. It's this flick right here. Shipolani's going to turn it. Taylor making the run. Taylor's open. Referee doing right by North Carolina FC. Here's Fortune down near the corner, and McGuire will end it. That's got to be it.
Good build-up from North Carolina FC. Even better goalkeeper from McGuire.
And there is the final whistle. North Carolina FC with an early goal from Peebo Due, but Bethlehem Steel with the right name. They steal 3 points on the road, and they get the win 2-1. For my freight goalkeeper, they call him Royalty, William Hesmer. Our entire crew, Taylor Hoggard, Joe Ferrara, and the entire gang, I'm Dean Linke. Once again, your final score from Salem Stadium, Wake Met Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Bethlehem Steel FC 2, North Carolina FC 1. We'll see you back here next week.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.